Welcome in. We're going to go over in this screencast the money management worksheet, which really kind of builds the foundation for the budgeting system that I employ for my clients. We're going to go over this really quick and go cell by cell to kind of clarify some things to assist you in filling this sheet out for future meetings. First section of the money management system is income. So this is going to be what I did is I put a sample 4,000 in for a monthly number for my gross income. You're going to go off your pay stub in order to get this number. I suggest getting that from HR or calling whoever you need to get that information. It'll annualize it. And then there are some other fields here, maybe some other income from a side job, bonuses that you might be receiving throughout the course of the year. So that's section one really quickly in a nutshell. Section two is broken down with fixed expenses. I went ahead and just put it in a filler here of $900 for rent. Could be a mortgage, but you're going to go straight down the list there. Any sort of association fees that you're responsible for on a monthly basis would go here. Utilities are a fixed expense, pay them every month. That would be phone, cell phone, gas, electric, etc. And I put in a customized field here for like Spotify or Netflix. That may seem like a discretionary expense, which it technically is, but it's coming out of your account each month. So I have that listed as fixed, and it kind of goes along with internet and cable. Auto loans or leases where you're paying a fixed dollar amount each month would go there. Credit card minimum payments. This is something that clients get a little confused about. You can find this information on Right Capital, and I can show you where that is. Or you can actually print out, go to your credit card website and find the minimum payments and add them all up. I went ahead and just put in a $100 amount for filler here, but it's just the minimum payment, not anything in excess of the minimum payment. And there's a specific cell that kind of reconciles other payments that you're going to be making. Student loans, that's a good spot to put that. That's a fixed expense that comes out each month. Other expenses, auto, fuel, parking, business expenses, childcare, grocery. Grocery could actually go in the discretionary field. That's something that's a personal preference. Either way, it needs to go in one of the categories, but this is a fine spot for now. Healthcare would just be the insurance premiums that you're contributing, and you can find that again directly off your payroll, your pay stub. Quickly going through this, it totals up the amount here, and then the next section would be savings. Additional loan payback above minimums would be any sort of excess credit card payments that you're making would go here. And any sort of retirement plan contributions that you're making would go in this field here. That again can be found on your pay stub. Other savings, if you have saving for an emergency, or you have an emergency savings account that you're contributing every month to, that's where this would go. Section 5 is other expenses, or what I like to call discretionary expenses. This is probably the most important spot of the spreadsheet, where you can put in, the amount that you're spending on a per month is, regarding eating out, going to bars, health clubs, sports and exercise stuff can go here. You could technically put this in the fixed expense category if it's being drawn out of your account each month. That's something that we can touch base on in our meeting, but this is kind of where it goes for now. Other expenses, pet care stuff, laundry, clothing is a real big one that I forgot to kind of mention here. This is kind of a spot where we see some issues in someone's budget. So that's something you might want to keep track of. Quick distinction, client one and client two. This client one would be, would be you, and then maybe client two would be a spouse or significant other, just FYI there. You get a total there. And then this section is really important. This is the color-coded accounts section. So your main checking account and your automated bills would be, held at, let's say, a Chase or your maybe primary bank that you're currently using. Then where it gets interesting is that there are a few color-coded sections here. One is the irregular required expenses section, which would be maybe a one-time car insurance payment that you have to make, or getting your vehicle registered with the city of Denver, let's say. Those are irregular, but they need to be budgeted for, and that's kind of what this bank account would be set up for. Irregular optional expenses would be vacations, Christmas gifts, maybe a splurge item that you're looking to save for would go here in the purple section. We'd be setting up another bank account for that. Discretionary spending account, as previously mentioned, is just the total here under the bottom of the discretionary section. Another bank account would be set up for that. These are not essential if you don't have a significant other or spouse. Taxes and payroll deductions, leave this blank for now. I don't really set up another bank account for taxes, although, again, personal preference depending on the client we're working with. And then the savings section, there would be another account opened for that. It'll total them up. It'll go through the entire spreadsheet, and it'll reconcile. The cross-check of the totals should be netted out to 0. Okay. Quick rundown, rest of the spreadsheet. This is a nice little tool here that kind of lays out whether you're on the right track. Fixed expenses really should be, 50 to 60% and no higher than 60 of your total income. I actually love to see this number below 50%. In this case, it just happens to be so. But that's a cool thing to kind of reconcile some of your spending. Section 3, we had mentioned this. These are, non-monthly, maybe one-time payments. Property taxes is a real good one. See that a lot. Life insurance, one-time life insurance payments, maybe a one-time renter's insurance payment. You get kind of the drift there. If it's not on a fixed monthly basis, it would go into this bucket. Total the bottom there. And then your irregular optional expenses, as mentioned, gift keeping, home upkeep, vacation. Maybe you're getting your dog trained, and you're going to do that as a splurge item. That would go here. Savings over income. This is, again, a rule of thumb. 15 to 20% is what we like to see. I love to see this 20% plus. And if you work with me, you'll see that number eventually get up into that 20% range. You're on a good track if you're saving 20% of your total income. Taxes, this comes right out of your payroll. You're just going to go right off the payroll, multiply that out, and just go ahead and fill this out. Medicare, Social Security, FICA, all this stuff comes right off your pay stub. Total income, total expenses, savings, there'll be a tax item here, and then that'll give you a surplus or deficit, and that gives us an opportunity to allocate some of this capital, if we have a surplus, to put it maybe towards a vacation or a savings item. So this spreadsheet really does a good job of that. Housing expenses relative to income, that gives you a goal range and whether you're meeting that. Emergency cash reserves, that does a great job of kind of calculating what you should have in emergency savings. So this is a basic overview of the spreadsheet, and please feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call if you should have any questions.